Hey there, everyone. A little too far, aren't I? 1 second. Hey there. So, today we're going to be doing a different type of video. No technology, no AI, no robots, anything like that. Just fun outdoor DIY type of things. So, as you've seen in my Corona Smacker video, when I explained what was going on, I was sitting in this tree right here. And that kind of revived my childhood fantasies and dreams of being in trees. I used to love being in trees, clubhouses, swings, anything like that. But now I'm an adult now with a slightly bigger mind, and I have even a bigger imagination now, surprisingly. So today I present you my swing. I'm gonna show you a quick version of how I built this and how I did it without a ladder or anything like that. So let's get to it. For this project, you won't have to spend much at all. In fact, you'll probably spend no more than $20. So to start off, I didn't want this to just be a swing that you just swing on like this, going back and forth, because I wanted to use this to actually enhance my Ninja Warrior skills that I've been training on for the past year or so. But on the other hand, I didn't want to negate sitting on it altogether either. So with that being said, I bought a 2-inch dowel, a 2-inch diameter thick dowel, by 48 inches. This will be, of course, enough room for me to sit on it or hang from it. And it'll also be thick enough for me to not have to worry about the weight limit. And this only ran me $9. I bought this from Home Depot. Next up, I needed the rope that I was gonna be swinging from. Originally, I wanted a rope long enough to swing from my root to the ground to live out my George of the Jungle dreams, but I didn't have a ladder long enough to reach up there, and there's no way I was gonna be able to throw it that high. And also, my wife kind of wasn't having that. So instead, I opted for a smaller version where I was gonna be able to swing from the top of the hill in my backyard, back and forth. I estimated it being about 30 feet, and I was pretty much spot on. So I ordered about 50 feet of twisted polypropylene rope, which had a weight limit of about 500 pounds, which was perfect for me as long as these quarantine snacks don't get to me. You want to make sure this is some type of synthetic rope because you don't want it to be cotton, because this will be sitting out inside the weather, and cotton does not do well with weather. So you want some type of synthetic rope that's going to be able to handle all the weather conditions that's thrown at it. This rope only ran me $10. The reason why I ordered more than double than I thought that I would need is because I don't have a ladder that will reach high enough to reach that branch that I'm trying to reach. So I needed to be able to throw the rope over and tie it at the bottom to make sure that the two pieces connect. And that was it. Those were the only things I needed to buy, because the other tools most likely you have them inside your house, and if you don't have them, maybe a friend or a family member has them. I then brought everything down to my workshop and then cut the dowel down to the size that I wanted. And remember, as I said, I want to be able to sit on it, but I don't want that to be the primary reason of why I have this swing. I wanted to mainly swing on it. So I chopped over the leftover length that I didn't need with a saw, specifically a reciprocating saw, but you can do this with a regular saw. But this step isn't necessary. You can literally have it 4 feet and you'll be fine. After that, I measured the center of the dowel. This will be the spot where we're gonna put the rope through and tie it at the other end. My rope is 1/2 inch in diameter, so I needed a drill bit that was gonna be big enough to make that hole to be able to fit through the rope. But sadly, the biggest drill bit that I had was only 1/2 inch. So I had to actually drill around the hole as well to make the hole bigger. After that, I sanded things down, and then I headed back outside to test things out before I put on my finishing touches on it. When I got outside, I really had no idea how I was gonna get the rope over at this point, especially after realizing my ladder was gonna get me nowhere near the top of where I needed to be. So I began to experiment in different ways of getting it up and over the branch. I tied one end of the rope through the dowel and then through the dowel through the tree to try to get it over. And believe it or not, I was able to get it only a few tries. Dude Perfect, hit me up. After that, I needed to find a way to knot everything together. I needed the knot to, 1, be tight enough where I wouldn't have to worry about it collapsing while I'm swinging, and 2, be able to knot one end of the rope to the other without having to wrap it around the branch. Maybe going to Boy Scouts would have helped out a lot in this situation, because I had to sit outside for much longer than I would have liked, trying to figure out which knot would be the best for this situation. After watching a bunch of videos, I finally settled on the clove hitch knot to wrap the rope around the dowel and knot it, and I finished that knot with just a regular tried and true regular knot. I don't know if there's a name for that knot, but the regular one, you know, the one everyone knows. And then to mend one end of the rope to the other end of the rope, I use a square knot. I use the square knot to make sure that whenever I pull on it, it gets tighter, which I guess is the whole point of a knot. I didn't realize how many knots there actually were until this project, but I tested it out and things seemed to be working perfectly, so I didn't have any complaints. So after testing things out, I untied everything and brought it back to the workshop to put my finishing touches on the project. I spray painted the dowel to give it a more metallic look, But sadly, no one will be able to appreciate the beauty of it because I ended up wrapping it with Gorilla Tape all around just to avoid splinters and add more grip. So that was pointless. So after that, I brought it back outside, put my knots back on everything, and then began the fun.
Number 5.
Oh, that was good. Oh, you gotta act like you're having fun, scream or something. And then you can even sit on the swing. That's why I made the stick so big. And that's the project. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and continue to embrace the spark. Oh, the spark.